teaching your child to read, you've probably heard the terms sight words or high frequency words or maybe even heart words before. These terms can get a little bit confusing, so I have lots of videos on my channel all about these different terms and what they mean. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to briefly go over. When people talk about sight words, what they're actually talking about is high frequency words. Sight words actually refers to any word that a person can read automatically just by looking at it. So you and I are going to have very different sight word vocabularies based on the words that we know automatically just by looking at it. So we're not going to use the term sight words in this video, but we are going to use the term high frequency words. Those are the words that we want our little ones to be able to know super fast because they're going to see these words over and over and over again in their reading, and they're going to spell them over and over and over again. Now, within the group high frequency words, there are some that are phonetically regular, so they're very easily decodable, and there are some that are phonetically irregular, so they're a little bit tricky for our little ones to decode. They might have one sound that's a little bit tricky. The whole word might be a little bit tricky depending on the word. So each word has a different amount of sounds that is going to trip up our students or our little ones. In today's video, I want to talk about a phonics rule that is actually going to help you teach your little one high frequency words in a more effective way so that they don't have to think that this sound is irregular. They don't have to think that it's silly or that it's unexpected. They're going to know why this letter represents this sound and that it's totally expected. If you don't know me, my name is Erin. I'm from littleslovelearning.com. I'm a former classroom teacher. I am also a tutor and a sub, and I spend my days teaching literacy. I teach parents and other teachers how to teach their little ones to read in the most effective ways because I really do believe that setting our kids up for success in reading is going to have a ripple effect in all areas of their life. That confidence that they feel when they can read and spell accurately is going to impact all areas of their life. So let's talk about today's phonics rule. 3 high-frequency words that you've probably come across when teaching your little one to read include is, as, and has. These 3 words show up on lists over and over and over again because we read them and we spell them over and over and over again. Now, typically what teachers and parents will do is they will teach this word if they are following the heart word method. I do have a video all about the heart word method, so you can check that out. But if they're using the heart word method, they put a heart over the S because the S is representing the Z sound in this word. Is. And so they put a heart over the S because they want their little one to know that it's not representing the typical S sound. It's not is, it's is. The same thing is true for as, and the same thing is true for has, as. So we put a heart over that S because we want our little ones to know that it's representing the Z sound, that it's unexpected. But we can actually teach our little ones this phonics rule pretty early on so that we don't even have to mess with the hearts in these words. We can actually teach them that the letter S spells the Z sound in a lot of words, and so then we wouldn't actually have to put a heart over it. When you're looking at a word that ends with the letter S, and you're not sure if it should be pronounced S or Z, you want to look at the sound before the letter S, and you want to know if that sound has your voice box turned on or your voice box turned off. So, for example, in the word dog, I have D, A, G, G. My voice box, G, is turned on. So when I add the letter S, I say it as a Z sound, dogs. That's because Z is also a voice box on sound. So because I had my voice box on for G, I keep it on for Z, dogs. This is not representing the S sound. It's representing the Z sound. So if our voice box on makes the S keep our voice box on for the Z sound, that means that if you had a word, let's say you had cliff, you're going to check the sound before you add that S. Cliff. That is a voice box off sound. I don't have my voice box on, it's off. So when I add the S, cliffs, the S is representing the S sound because that is also a voice box off sound. Cliffs. So because my voice box was off, I keep it off when I add the S. That is the difference between S and Z. I have dogs, voice box on, cliffs, voice box off, voice box off. So if I can teach this to my students early, then I don't have to teach them is, his, as, has. I don't have to teach any of those as heart words because they're going to see is and they're going to know I, z, because the sound before the S is a voice box on sound. I. All of our vowels are voice box on sounds. So that would be true for is, as, and as, has. Because the sound before the S is a voice box on sound, I leave my voice box on to represent the Z sound when I see that letter S. I hope this quick tip was helpful for you today. There are so many high frequency words that have irregular sounds that are permanently irregular, meaning our kids are never going to learn that phonics rule so that they will know why the letter spells that sound. So for example, in the word from, f, r, that is spelled with the letter O. That is permanently irregular. But something like the S representing the Z sound, that doesn't have to be irregular at all. If we can teach our students that phonics rule before we introduce these high frequency words or our child at home, then we don't even have to make it a heart word or an irregular spelled word. We can explain the phonics rule and then we can have them read that word. Easy peasy. If you have any questions about this phonics rule or anything else on my channel, you can comment down below. You can also find me over on my website, littleslovelearning.com. I would love to answer your questions and support you in any way that I know how. I am still learning all of this too. I am still on this journey to become a better reading teacher, a better mom to my kids to help them really feel that confidence and that success in reading. So I want to support you on your journey through that as well. Until the next video, I hope you have a great day.